You know, apparently, for the first time in about 36 years, the new guy says he's not going to show up for the White House Correspondents' dinner.
Yeah.
And, you know, there have been several presidents who didn't make all of them, but never in their first year.
Yeah.
And, you know, people bring up Reagan. Well, Reagan couldn't attend because he was recovering from being shot. But he did call in.
He did call in.
He called in. And so so the new guy's saying, you know, I'm not going because they're so mean to me, and I just, you know.
Well, you can't go out and say that these are the enemy of the people and then play nicely with them. What happens to all those people? You're trying to tell them these are the enemy, and now you're playing with them.
So you think it's consistent? I mean, does he get points for that?
I think it's consistent for this thing, because he did okay in the Alfred Smith thing.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, and where he embarrassed his wife.
Well, he made a joke about Melania, but he actually looked like he had a little bit of a sense of humor. And then Comedy Central roasted him once, and he went with the pummeling then. So this time it's like, well, I already said these are the enemy, so I have to be consistent.
I don't think it's consistency driving it, though. I think it's thin-skinned fear of what will come down on him.
Yeah, the only thing thinner than his skin is his hair.
Well, it's really what drove him to run for president was that whole roast by President Obama.
Well, which he started.
Yes, he did start.
Yeah. But you had a great idea.
I think it would be really cool if Hillary Clinton came and spoke instead. Because I think
the real president.
Well, it brings back the idea that do you show up and speak to an issue, or do you protest and boycott? And I think when he opens up a space, another leader needs to come out, because that's what the event's about, and I think it'd be really cool.
I'd like to see Alec Baldwin come in his place.
Yeah, that's it going around.
Personally. I think that would be hilarious, right? I mean,
I think Steve Bannon should do it.
No,
I do.
Maybe the real president.
I think Steve Bannon should do it.
Yeah.
Maybe he could come. He's running the show behind the scenes.
It's going to go from funny to like this pinked face screaming.
I'll tell you what I think would make the greatest impact if all the previous living presidents would show up. Bill Clinton, Jimmy Carter, Herbert Walker Bush, George Herbert Walker, and George W. Bush. And President Obama, of course. All of them should just show up and say, this is what America is. We respect the press. That would show him
that's a
what
better suggestion.
That would be great. I call on you, presidents of America.
That would be great. The thing is, there's been animosity before. Like, you can look back. President Obama, we talked about this before, had made comments about Fox News being a problem. But this is beyond animosity, because now you've grouped everyone together, and you've made the press in general. You haven't even singled out one person who maybe crossed the line, in your opinion, but you've made everyone the enemy. And that is a problem, because you're the president of the free world, and without the press, that's not a free world.
That's right.
So that's a real problem for everybody. And it's also a chance for when presidents go to these things, you get to know them as a person.
Which
they're
help
funny.
them, maybe.
They're relatable. Maybe it would be helpful to them.
Room, so there's laughter.
Right.
You already know who he is.
Yeah.
I know everybody tries to say, well, maybe he showed you who he is.
Right.
But if he's looking
I was hoping he was saving the best for last.
He's not looking to appeal. He's looking to say to his base, look at how they treat me. Well, remember what you did. You started it with Obama. With 8 years of you're not the real president. Deal with it, my friend. We'll be right back. So, if you happen to go to bed early last night, you might have missed one of the honest moments in an Oscar show that I can remember. But if you missed it, take a look.
And the Academy Award for Best Picture.
You're impossible. Come on. La La Land.
There's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture. Moonlight, Best Picture.
Guys, this is very unfortunate what happened. Personally, I blame Steve Harvey for this.
That was funny.
It was funny.
So, apparently Warren Beatty was handed the wrong envelope.
Well, you know, Warren's looking at it and he's thinking, did I sleep with Emma Stone or was it Sharon Stone? What's it again? You do.
I was laughing earlier with Sunny because originally when I saw it, people were like, oh, he didn't know what to do, so he was looking to her. But when you think about if that really played out, if I were handing it to Joy, I'd kind of be like, like warning with my eyes. And he doesn't do it, he goes like this.
Yep, here you go. Yep.
It's like, you figure it out.
Exactly. So I was wondering, I was like, oh my gosh, did he throw her under the bus, or, you know, did he not want to take responsibility for it? But I just think it was just a big mix-up. But what was funny to me was Steve Harvey tweeted out, call me Warren Beatty, I can help you get through this. Hashtag the Oscars. Which I love.
I think it's okay. You know, I think when you watch something, you have this expectation that they're supposed to be superhuman. These things happen. It's okay. You know, I was watching at home.
This is not supposed to happen.
Right, but
No, because it's never happened before. And the reason it's not supposed to happen is because when you get those envelopes, it goes in sequence.
Yeah.
You know, this is the envelope for this, this is the envelope for this. So somewhere, either her envelope, she put it down, maybe she, you know, maybe somebody picked it up and thought it had fallen or something. But that, because Price Waterhouse, and they're looking in to see, because they feel this is their mess up, has prided themselves on the 80 years or 79 years of this, of saying, you know, there's only one card per performer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a crazy mix-up, but that's the Academy Awards. It's live, and that's why you want somebody like Jimmy Kimmel, because you need to be live. You need somebody who can do it.
It knocked Trump off the front page for a second.
For a second.
Yeah, it's true.
I want to say that PricewaterhouseCoopers did issue a statement on this mix-up. They say, we sincerely apologize to Moonlight, La La Land, Warren Beatty, Faye Dunaway, and Oscar viewers for the error that was made during the award announcement for Best Picture. The presenters had mistakenly been given the wrong category envelope, and when discovered, was immediately corrected. We are currently investigating, just as you said, Whoopi, how this could have happened, and deeply regret that this occurred.
Yeah.
See, when something like this happens to me, though, it's more important how you handle it. And I think the way they handled it was so professional and so nice, and it just showed their humanity.
But they're actors, you know. They're people.
Not everybody can do that, though. Well, a lot of people get really in-depth.
But that's why these guys are these guys.
Well, I appreciate them because I don't know that I'd be able to handle that so well.
You will learn. But you might not be able to do it yet.
Not yet. I can promise you not yet.
But you learn how to do that because you're on live. You do it every day.
I would have held on a little tighter if they ripped it out of my hands.
I think as an Oscar winner, were you just shocked when you heard about this?
I was just surprised because, you know, I know that when they give you that envelope, people hold on to those envelopes.
Oh, they keep
so there's only supposed to be one. Oh. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that this doesn't happen. Because can you imagine if a mix-up like this happened in the middle of the show? And somebody got the wrong, you know, so it's a,
so it would be announcing an Oscar that wasn't even given out.
Maybe something, maybe there was a duplicate made, and, you know, they're not looking at these, they're just putting them in the envelopes, in the correct envelopes. So could have been a duplicate card, but, you know, listen, it's a live show.
I know.
Stuff happens, and I know a lot of people were sort of freaking out because they thought it was going to be a political Oscar show. And I have to say, I think everybody at the Oscars said, oh, wait, this is about the movies and what we're doing. Forget about him. Forget about him. You know?
Here and there a joke.
I mean, jokes you expected from the host. But, you know, the artist, except for, of course, one of the artists who wasn't there, who should have been there, is the gentleman who had been put out with the band. You know, so, I mean, some of it was there. But, and a lot came from Jimmy Kimmel, I'm told. A lot of the funny. So, take a look.
This broadcast is being watched live by millions of Americans and around the world in more than 225 countries that now hate us. I want to say thank you to President Trump. I mean, remember last year when it seemed like the Oscars were racist? You know, we're more than 2 hours into the show and Donald Trump hasn't tweeted at us once. And I'm starting to get worried about him.
that.
That's cute.
Because, I mean, was he watching? You would think he was watching, right?
I'm sure
he probably has 10 screens up and it's like CNN, you know, like.
What are they going to say about me?
Yeah, exactly.
Guess they didn't have anything to say about you.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know, we do have something to say about ESPN. Congratulations for their winning their very first Oscar for the documentary O.J. Made in America.
Yeah, that's good.
So they won last night, which was wonderful. Yeah. But it started, yesterday started out on quite a sad note with the loss of Bill Paxton, we were told that.
Yes.
He was complications during a surgery, 61 years old, you know.
So young. And you knew him.
Yeah, I knew him, and I knew Judge Wapner. Judge Wapner passed away. You know, Judge Wapner, y'all.
I know. People's Court.
He was People's Court. We the People's Court.
I know.
And then Game of Thrones star Neil Fingleton, who was only 36. He was the tallest man in the UK. 7'7".
What did he die of?
I think complications from
his heart.
Yeah, his heart.
Oh,
So it's just it was a sad. But they're all such great folks that we got to know them, so we celebrate that. And today's Black History Month, FYI, honors a man born into slavery who rose up to become one of the foremost civil rights leaders and education pioneers in American history. Booker T. Washington founded Tuskegee Institute in 1881, and in 1901 became the first black man invited inside the White House. It wasn't his only visit. He was presidential advisor for Theodore Roosevelt and William Howard Taft, who sought his counsel on racial matters. He actually got a person of color. He was also the first black person on a U.S. postage stamp.
See, Booker T. Washington, people did learn about in school. He's one of the people that we've been talking about, a lot of black people for over the years who we don't even know who they are because we haven't gotten the right education. But I think Booker T. Washington, right?
Yeah, that was one of
We all learned about him.
And Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
Some of us were.
I'm still learning about him.
Not everybody.
He's doing some good things.
He's running for the Senate in Omaha.
Yeah. And you know how you're always bragging about you dated Abe Lincoln?
Yeah. You dated Frederick Douglass?
We'll be right back.